Today, we, the researcher, together with my wife, Geralda El Papa, I am Teodoro Papa, the author of awareness level of the educators and student of grade 11 senior high school at General Mariano Alvarez Technical High School in Child Protection Policy Act. As an introduction, through the world, hefty numbers of children experience maltreatment resulting in lifelong consequences for victims here in the Philippines. Despite the significance and impact of child maltreatment, policy and research on this topic remains in its early stages. Child abuse often considered to take the form of action and involvement of neglect. Psychologically, the sign and effect of maltreatment to children can also affect children's learning and development. The Child Protection Policy is a program in response to child maltreatment. This aims to create comprehensive and violence-free school. The foundation of this program started when DepEd launched its first National Child Protection Summit in Pasay City. More and more cases are reported that there was an increase of bullying, related suicide, and most bullying prevention is aimed at students. So what will happen if one or two may possibly misinterpreted the way of disciplinary of the educators to their learners? So to prevent further confusion, to bound of the program, one must be aware of what is the extent of a given policy. The study aims to look at the present condition of maltreatment in the school, to show if the awareness about the policy is enough for proper implementation and structure processes can be aligned to it. Information were gathered from the student and teachers to ensure that data coincides with the target indicator used for research statistics. The presenter will show that with well-defined plan, the stakeholders are put into action to ensure that the policy is followed with understanding of basic right and responsibility as stipulated in the Child Protection Policy. So the research question are, what is the level of awareness and opinion of students and teachers in terms of right, duties, and scope of limitation under the Child Protection Policy? Second, how can a student differ the act of discipline or if they are currently experiencing abuse in school premises? What are the aspects or disregarded attributes that the teachers fail to notice in this implementation policy? What are the changes that take place after implementing this policy? This study will focus on the main predicament of child protection program, such as awareness level of students and educators. That is the number one, scope and limitation. Second, differentiating the act of discipline to abuse. Then third, feedback of students and teachers about the program. So we are going to have data were gathered using the following methodologies. The qualitative survey and quantitative survey will be used for the study. Second, stratified sampling will be used to divide the population into sections, and then random sampling for the selection of respondents per section. Then third, questionnaire and voice record will be used to gather data. The fourth, quantitative data analysis will be used for question number 1, while qualitative analysis for differentiating the act of discipline to mistreatment for question 2, the changes and disregarded attributes of the policy or the question 3 and 4.
Once again, good day to all of you. I'm Geralda El Papa, co-proponent of Teodoro G. Papa in the research entitled Awareness Level of Educators and Students of Grade 11 Senior High School at General Mariano Alvarez Technical High School in Child Protection Policy Act. To assess the level of awareness of the child protection policy, checklists were given to the respondents, like teachers and students. The result shows that 20% of the teachers at some point knew the policy or the child protection policy. 25% had experienced how child protection policy works, and 55% are very aware. On the side of the student, 88.75% of them are aware of child protection policy, and 11.25% are still grasping on the policy. With regards to the extent knowledge of student to child protection, 5% of the students assume that they don't know the policy. 8.75% have a little knowledge. 33.75% know the policy, and 21.25% had knowledge and come across on how child protection policy works, while 31.25% knew and very aware of the policy. In terms of abuse, educators find it as a kind of treat and with cruelty. That's why 80% of the teachers assume it. 40% for punishment to correct disobedience, and 45% for hitting and gripping tightly, while 5% for other meaning. For the student, the meaning of abuse states that 52.50% believe that hitting and treating someone with cruelty signify maltreatment. 36.25% says that gripping tightly, and 57.50% says or state that abuse through insult, gossip, cursing, and comparison. 31.25% believe that abuse is a punishment to correct disobedience, while some believe that it is psychological and mental cruelty. To evaluate the changes by the student after implementing the policy, most of the students assume that they have seen changes after implementing the policy. In the interview conducted to assess the opinion of the student with regards to child protection policy, it reveals that the policy serves as protection for the student in the school, while the teachers regard the policy as an abuse by the student. So to conclude, teachers are all aware that how child protection policy works, and most of their opinions about policy is that students are using it as an excuse to execute authority towards teacher. The teacher also thought that the policy pampers the children up to the extent that little activities can be burdensome to them, while 11.25% of the students are still not aware of the policy, and most of them somehow had the knowledge about the protection policy. The students' opinion to the given policy in child protection policy gave them assurance on security that the school community is safe and bully-free. But still, some of them think that the students are still using it for their own disadvantages or for their own advantages. In terms of knowledge about difference between abuse and discipline, student rating 32.5% was aware of the different kinds of abuse at some point, while 47.5% of them can differ the difference between abuse and discipline capability. Half of the teachers hold that there are anomalies circulating the given policy. According to the interview, the teachers always notice the disregarded factors that the policy had, such as student sensitivity towards the school activities, shifting the ways of discipline such as scolding as a form of bullying, where in fact it was the students' fault, and the never-ending lack of awareness of students to the policy. One of the teachers from the interview also suggested that students and even teachers should conduct further seminars and symposium about the given topic for them to have more knowledge about the policy. 4.60% of the educators said that they had observed some changes after the implementation of the policy. Mainly, mistreatment is much lesser now than before.
Hi, again, I'm Teodoro G. Papa.
And I'm Geralda L. Papa. A research entitled
Awareness Level of Educators and Students of Grade 11 Senior High School at General Mariano Alvarez Technical High School, the Child Protection Policy Act.
Leaving you a saying that discipline must be practiced
and campers at home.
Thank you.
Thank you.